believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. Welcome to our show. I am David Sponheim, and we are always available, taking calls daily. 707 your ATP. If you feel to call us, feel free anytime from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time. Today is a Conspiracy Monday. I don't mind talking about conspiracies, unlike many other people. We're getting DDoSed right now. It's part of a daily ritual. If you're having problems getting a connection, we're coming back in just a second. That's right, hold off. There we go. Refresh if necessary. The world is getting a little bit more disturbing the more the Democrats fan the flame of fear about COVID-19, making it part of their Democratic convention. That's weird. Yeah. Many people are saying, why would they make COVID-19 part of their Democratic convention? They're constantly making it seem like the numbers are growing when it's not. The statistics are being manipulated worldwide, but specifically in America, in Florida and Connecticut, they showed complete lies about the numbers. Everyone that went in for a COVID test came out 100% COVID positive. I mean, that's impossible when 9% normally happen. So that's a very bizarre twist of events. Yeah, so we're beginning to process all these things as, no, I think you're making this up. And a lot of people, patriots around the country, are realizing, no, we're not going to fall for the mask scam. It's as though our entire nation has been hijacked and put into masks for no reason. Now we're going to go ahead and switch VPNs. Part of my move right here is to actually alter the dimension of our show. So doing that, I have to sometimes reboot. Yeah, so we'll be starting the show again. Right, we're still in the show, so don't worry. I'm just bringing people back up. There we go. All right. We're up and running. Thank you for coming in. Okay, refresh, everyone. Okay, same with you guys at D Live. Refresh. Hi, Robin. Welcome to the show. You're right. Robin said we were talking about transgenders in the pre-show and how Michelle Obama is not a transgender; she's a transvestite. Yeah, and then she was talking today at the Democratic convention about how great Biden was when he handed out his phone number to all the children. I'm sorry, but I don't buy that. Barack had said that, Joe likes the kid so much he hands out his phone number. And now we're wondering what kind of a man would do that. And then, of course, Michelle's talking about that as a good thing. Trying to help kids who have stuttering problems talk to their vice president. It's just weird. So, Mark, South Jersey, how you doing? And Robin was saying that transgenderism is self-mutilization. I agree. People who are doing that to their body, and the Democrats, they're okay with that. I don't know one psychiatrist in the world that would sign off saying it's perfectly okay to cut your body part off. Welcome to Conspiracy Monday, where lots of things are talked about. Beyond that, the public service, the postal service that is being put out there is battling delays for those second $1,200 stimulus checks. Okay. Are people going to get the second $1,200 with the postal system not working? You got to wonder what's going on. Is Donald Trump trying to pull the plug on the postal service?
That made a huge difference. I didn't check that.
Okay, good.
I just did that. I didn't do that.
Cool. I'm glad that worked out. Yeah, we were knocked off of here too at the same time, so we're back up and running though.
Could it be that you're running off of that?
It could be. Because we're running on an Ethernet.
Oh yeah.
But there may have been a variation of the signal that may have thrown it off.
Yeah.
Anyway, we just got back. We're still doing the show, folks, so have no fear. If you want to send me another email, you can later. Request. Good evening. Newscast, 150 times more negative toward Trump than Biden, study says. That's interesting. See how the media is pushing Joe Biden as though he's some gleaming example of a great candidate when he's like the bare minimum? A man suffering from galloping dementia with numerous charges of perversion.
This week at the Democratic National Convention kicks off tomorrow. And while Joe Biden remains in his basement, the president and vice president will counter-campaign in Wisconsin. Hillary Clinton notoriously ignored the key swing state when it mattered most and lost. Joining us now to discuss is Fox News contributor and, importantly, Wisconsin resident Rachel Campos Duffy. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Will, and congratulations and welcome to Fox and Friends.
Thank you so much, Rachel. I'm happy to be here. The Trump campaign certainly wants to make Joe Biden's choices today symbolic of Hillary Clinton's choices some 4 years ago. President Trump is trailing Joe Biden in the polls in Wisconsin, 44-49. That's much less than he trailed Hillary Clinton some 4 years ago, according to a Marquette poll. So, Rachel, what are you seeing on the ground in Wisconsin right now when it comes to this race?
Well, I happen to live in north central Wisconsin, which is a critical point. Many people say it's what won the election for Donald Trump in 2016. And what I'm seeing here is a lot of enthusiasm. I'll tell you, the silent voter is a real thing. So I'm a kind of well-known conservative. So people will come to me very regularly and go, I'm voting for Trump. So that happens. But also, I've spoken to people in the campaign offices, and they say that the Biden campaign's offices are, weak traffic on the ground. They're not doing door to door. They're relying much more heavily on their digital.
I'm going to have to turn it off. I'm getting a lot of negative karma coming off the screen. You feel that? You could feel the negative vibe coming out of here. It's like a dark, very dark aura. Michelle Obama on Biden. We saw this earlier. This is what spawned our discussion of transgenderism and how I think that Michelle is a transvestite. Go ahead, Michelle. We're waiting.
I know Joe. He is a profoundly decent man, guided.
Okay, now notice when she says, I know Joe, and she turns her head this way. That's a tell that she's lying. She says, I know Joe. No, she would say, I know Joe, if she really knew Joe.
I know Joe. He is a profoundly decent man, guided by faith. He was a terrific vice president. He knows what it takes to rescue an economy, beat back a pandemic, and lead our country. And he listens.
He doesn't listen to anyone. You know, I got to tell you, he didn't beat back the pandemic. He himself, Joe, has said that he would have shut the economy down sooner. I mean, come on. He's endorsing the shutdown of our economy while they're borrowing $6 trillion in debt. Sweden and Norway have a full economy, and they're not even wearing masks, and their COVID numbers are going down. What's going on here? Look at this fake face of hers, his.
He will tell the truth and trust science. He will make smart plans and manage a good team. And he will govern as someone who's lived a life that the rest of us can recognize.
Right, he listens to you, but then he can't remember what you said because he's got dementia.
When he was a kid, Joe's father lost his job. When he was a young senator, Joe lost his wife and his baby daughter. And when he was vice president, he lost his beloved son.
And now he lost his memory. Okay, you're good?
Yeah, that works.
Great. Excellent. Awesome. So he lost everybody in his family. His son, Beau, wanted him to be president really bad. And that's why we're supposed to vote for a man who can't come up with new ideas to help spawn a new economy. I'm David Sponheim, and I could come up with new ideas to spawn a new economy. We already have them. In fact, Joe took one of my ideas, my public option, at $60 a month. He uses the same number when he tells people how much it's going to be. I came up with that number. It took me like months to determine how much we could afford and how much people could afford for health care. He stole the number, $60 a month. It's ridiculous.
So Joe knows the anguish of sitting at a table with an empty chair, which is why he gives his time so freely to grieving parents. Joe knows what it's like to struggle, which is why he gives his personal phone number to kids overcoming a stutter of their own.
No. Barack said that he gives his personal phone number out to all the children, not the kids who are just stuttering. We've got video of Barack Obama. So, well, let's be clear. Joe loves the children so much, he gives his personal phone number. Not just the stutterers, all the kids. Something's very wrong here. She's covering up for him. Very weird. Okay, question came up. David, do you think we should have a wall? It's my idea, the 1,000-mile fence we started with in 2008. I've been talking about it since then. We've turned this into a doable 1,000-mile container fence. Trump took the idea and the 1,000 miles that I had configured, because I know all the weak points in the fence, and he called it his wall. I'm going to create a wall. It's going to be 1,000 miles long. Who's going to pay for it? Mexico is going to pay for it. No. So this is doable. We could have had the fence built by now had we done it this way. Nancy Pelosi had offered Donald Trump $24 billion, believe it or not, early on. And all he had to say was the DACA kids would have a moratorium on any citizenship issues. The Dreamer kids would not be expelled from the country. That's all he had to say, and he would have gotten $24 billion. Instead, he's still playing around with a 133-mile slat fence. Yeah, which is really disturbing because you can actually you can put kilos of cocaine and heroin through the slats. They're not that hard to put a kilo through there. So either Trump worked directly with the drug cartels to make this happen or something, but you can easily move lots of cocaine through the fence, okay, man? So that's not exactly a good, no. I'm serious. This wall would turn into a rape camp? No. This is the best wall possible. We don't even have to open up the containers down below. Oh, the other guy. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, we can offer housing for people. We have welding cuts cut through the containers so that we don't have any closed doors. No one will feel trapped in any one of these things. We can always put a blanket over it for warmth. But inside we could have bunk beds, no problem. Yeah. But we're finding out some weird things are going on. Yeah, it's strange. I just grabbed a video. One guy was looking at our FEMA camps at our deportation centers down in the southern border. And he noticed that they're making cells that have toilets in them. I mean, this is scary stuff, folks. If you haven't seen it, it's scary. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, we just played it for you a few minutes ago. We're just going to grab a little bit of a video that was just recorded. Breaking human cages with toilets at the south of the border. See, take a look at this, man. Well, they practically...
Hey, good afternoon, YouTube. It is 2:40 p.m. in this beautiful mountain time, and I want to show you one of the most disturbing things I have seen, and I have no reason to believe it's not true.
Okay, let's take a look at these things.
This is completely nuts. And the one guy asked the other in the car, how many are there? And they just don't know. There's just too many.
Yeah.
Too many to count.
Each one is a cell with a toilet in it. Stackable.
Well, these aren't for migrant workers or anything.
No.
You don't build cages for migrant workers. You build little tiny shacks or something, not cages.
Okay, so the anguish of sitting at an open, empty chair. This is so fake. What are you talking about? What's fake to you? iVlog. And third party is up and running at DLive. We've got a few viewers. We are not running our Periscope show tonight because we're trying a different connection with our outreach area. We have an outreach hybrid communications center we're building, broadcast center, in preparation for the startup of our entire society after Trump and Biden shut it down. Periscope is up and running, yeah. We're up. Let me play it for you. Well, let's be clear. Here's the link. So if they're putting cages with toilets in them, it's not like they care about the people. Now, you know, and I know that George Soros has been operating an illegal operation for many years, funding paid protesters, Antifa, BLM. He gets a lot of funding through other sources too. He's the front man for the New World Order. And he's trying to destroy our country from inside, creating nothing but internal unrest, civil crises, and civil uprisings. The things we're seeing on TV are mostly staged. Recently, the attack at Stone Mountain between patriots and Black Lives Matter groups, all completely staged. I wouldn't doubt he paid for both sides to fight each other. A lot of big activities, even in Michigan, you're seeing people strike each other. There's lots of physical violence. They're saying the civil war is starting. No. George Soros is trying to impersonate or create the civil war. Yeah, he's trying to engineer it so that we'll all believe it's happening. Because remember, their big goal is to declare martial law in America. And they haven't gotten the level of rioting up to the level that they need to do that. Their primary goal is to get rid of our civil rights. Yeah, they're working on destroying our Bill of Rights right now as we speak. So yeah, we got a lot to be worried about right now, folks. Last night we talked about microplastic in all the food we're eating. Yeah, some studies were done on plastic waste, and in our body and on our food chain, it's all over the place. Microplastics. Are the Democrats dealing with the plastic issue? No, they're not. Hardly. Quantitative analysis of selected plastics in high commercial value Australian seafood by pyrolysis gas chromatography mass spectrometry found that almost every single shellfish and seafood item out there, with the least being squid of all things, the least amount of polypropylene and other types of plastics were in squid. So you want to eat squid, go ahead and munch on those and chew on those for a while. Yeah. So all the shrimp we're eating, microplastic. All the sardines we're eating, microplastic. We are literally destroying our bodies by letting these scumbags who run the world dump plastics into the ocean and rape the earth while we sit here and think, well, they're handling it. They're doing a good job. No, they aren't. In fact, they're trying to get rid of you. Now that they realize how screwed the world is and they created this problem, they decided that the population's too big. We have to get rid of 90% of the population, according to them. Yeah, so some of the waters are better than others. No wonder your feces won't biodegrade. It's full of plastics. Exactly. So every time you take a dump, you're dumping plastic waste into your septic system. There is a little bit of hope that we'll be able to stop this plastic waste, but are the Democrats doing that? No. I have a plan to get all plastic companies who make plastic, as in bottles, small bags, the plastic we use at our at the produce section could easily be replaced by a small paper bag. A lunch bag would do. I have no problem with that. And all of our plastic being distributed at markets, stop that immediately. Go to paper bags. Let's beef up our paper bag industry. That's the most logical thing. And as far as the plastic bottles industry, we need to move toward glass bottles across the board. I'm finding other bottlers are now using glass bottles now again. We're drifting back away from plastic because microplastic is in all the bottled water. Virtually all 15 brands that were studied had over 200 with their total dissolved solids of microplastics in every single bottle. That's crazy. So we don't need that in our body to function. I don't blame a lot of you for drinking, frankly, because alcohol does dissolve oil. I mean, that's about your only shot of dissolving plastic in your body. I may start drinking after all. Yeah, I just wondered, why so many people are ignoring this fact, but we need to look at it. I'm going to give you a link to pass this on so that nobody's standing there going, yeah, Dave, I saw a link, but no, here's the link. Bookmark it. The full study shows it's plastics in everything. Yeah. Well, make no mistake about it. Michael and I are dining on a beluga whale with no plastic. Yeah, sure. You'll notice that left-wing media quit calling AR-15s assault rifles because Antifa and BLM are using them. Yeah, exactly. Good point, Trevor. Oh, yeah, they're trying to arm up the Antifa groups and BLM people. That's what George Soros is doing. If I were president, George Soros would be tried for treason, and he'd probably be facing capital punishment. I keep my horn wherever I need it. Everyone like someone needs to be doing something about these Antifa. No one does anything about them. I know, Dr. Germ Ratpig, exactly. I want to go after the source of their money, which would be George Soros. We want to go after that. We can't just sit back and ignore this treason that's happening. Trump has a friend named George Soros. Go figure. So if he doesn't want to expose the Soros connection, I can't tell you what I'm going to do because obviously I have no power. But if I did, I would do everything I could. Yeah. I just find it really disturbing. We need to get our country back to normal. We don't need this nonsense. I remember when this picture was taken last 2 years ago. When I was on the cover of, they actually had me on the screen. Some people, I think Trump Tardican, you got me on the screen in Times Square. And it was a kind of a halcyon time when we actually remembered the good old days. Remember that? But now it's just kind of a distant memory. Yeah. Remember the days you used to go to buffets? It was so much fun. Yeah. But no, you can't do that anymore. I'm glad you enjoyed it when you could. Because the Democrats freaked out and made everything seem like a COVID nightmare. Now remember, this is an old adage, but it totally relates to what's happening right now. Quarantine is when you restrict the movement of sick people. Tyranny is when you restrict the movement of healthy people. Now I ask everybody this every night, and I ask them, and they always say, "No, Dave, we don't see anybody." Do any of you see people coughing in their masks when they walk around? Not one person, except for some shill, some FBI agent that came in here. Not one person has seen people coughing. It's weird. How do we believe what the Democrats are saying is true when we don't see any real life examples of a growing disease problem in America? Simply use the toolkit God gave you, your logic, okay? And apply it. Go to your local hospital, take a drive when you do your essential shopping, and see what the hospital looks like. And I'm pretty sure it's almost hardly even being used. Hospitals are for really sick people now. Most people are afraid to go there. Remember the days when you could all get sick eating at Chinese buffets and spend the next few days in the bathroom? I know, the good old days when you could just munch out on some really, really sickening food and then, it's finally took an end to the buffets, I know. Well, obesity is taking a hit, but I'm sure there are a lot of people binge eating right now on no buffets. I'm sure there are people who order out every day at McDonald's and get at least 3 or 4 burgers. Am I right? You don't have to answer that. Yeah, I mean, there's ways of eating. If you want to binge eat, you can do it and be COVID friendly at the same time, right? Yeah. Yeah, dementia can be normal when you hit your 50s, when you don't actually have a good diet and you've been running around the country, spending time in your submarine location in Water Island like Biden has. I'd like someone to interview Biden on why he has a submarine pad with his brother James just 5 miles away from Little St. James Island. Well, let's be clear. Hey, so you want to check my email? Okay. Coming in there. Cool. I'm going in right now. Camera's starting. Ready to join. Asked to join. Yes. Okay. Says camera. There you are. Oh, wow.
There you are. Wow.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
The camera quality is not bad. Let me put you on the screen, okay? If you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to try something right now, which is I'm going to show, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to click this, and then, oh, I've got to make this a little bit bigger. And then now it should just switch from me to, it's about to switch from me to the chat room.
Yeah, I see that.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, but then I can, on my end, I can do this and it should go back to me, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Cool.
Okay, great.
So if I want to show something, it'll take me off screen, but then I can show it. So anyway, whenever you're ready to take a break, I'll just do it this way, and then I'm just going to only watch the chat at Vaughn for everybody.
Okay, I'm going to try to get full screen here because I want to make it a little bit bigger, and I'm not seeing full screen. There is no full screen, right?
Well,
oh yes, there is. No, I got it. I found it. Okay, this is really good. Okay,
on XSplit,
Sarah's going to do a little background. I like that background. That looks good. Okay, Sarah's going to she's going to pick up the show where I left off. Take over for me. Here she is, and I'm going to say goodbye.
And he's pausing the recording.